Good morning, Gooners. Good evening, Gooners. And hello to you all. Wherever you are watching this video, I am Ryan William. If you're new to the channel, thank you for checking out this video. There's a lot of videos on my channel. Make sure you check them out. Click, of course, like I was just about to do. And of course, subscribe. All the links at the bottom if you want to chat to me on Twitter and Instagram, Ryan as well, and RJ Wills on Twitter. So this video is pretty much my thoughts going forward and general thoughts on Arsenal, man. And, you know, the club, the team, the fan base as well. Because a lot of this shit is actually driving me up the wall. I've got to be real, man. Where should we start? Let's just start off where it should start off. Let's start off with the club. I mean, what are their plans this future going forward? We know, we heard Raul and Vinay on Arsenal's YouTube channel. If you haven't, make sure you check that video out so you can get more of an insight on what their plans are. And from what I've gathered, you know, they're basically saying, okay, based on revenue, it's going to get put into the team. We know the wage bill's high. They're assuring us that they got the ideas, that they're not letting anyone go for free no more. When they come down to the 2-year deal, they're either going to sell or extend. Which I think is a lot more proactive than the last regime. Let's be real, because we let a lot of guys who go for free, which we actually could have made some profit on. Guys who, you know, like Ramsey, who I didn't want to go, but it is what it is. I'm sure the Europa League final pretty much told you that. Even though he was injured, but there's nothing we could have done about that. Sanchez, could have sold him for money, but we did a swap deal for Mkhitaryan. Yeah, we got money for Chamberlain, but it was what it was. Did we sell Giroud, or was that a swap deal? I can't remember I remember the little triangular thing was Giroud to Chelsea, Batshuayi to Dortmund, Aubameyang from Dortmund to Arsenal. So I can't remember that one, but you get where I'm going with this, guys. A lot of people have left for free. Yeah, it's just a joke, and allowing players that go into their last year the contracts and just not even re-sign. Do you know what I mean? Or even try and make some money. As they said, they're gonna stop doing that, so we'll see. I mean, Welbeck, it is what it is. Do you know what I'm saying? I like Danny to stay. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, but the money he was on, I guess that tells you why he has to go. Do you know what I mean? And I'm just sick and tired of the wages being splashed around on people who don't contribute enough to the club. And you know, I'm not gonna call out names right now because I can do that later on in this video if you really want me to. In fact, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna give you my clear out list as well. So again, like I was saying, we have to trust Vinay and Raul in the ideas, what they're trying to do. But this goes to Stan Kroenke. Again, I've said I'm not going to blame the owner because personally the club needs a direction, but they need to sort it out. But to be honest with you, what's that without an owner? An owner that will come and supposed to spice things up. We've seen City owners do wonders. We've seen Liverpool owners take control, and we've seen, you know, we've just seen even though United ain't got the best chief executive officer, but look, they've been spending millions, and I know I ain't really got them anywhere, but look at the money they have to go and buy players. Do you know what I'm saying? Chelsea could do the same thing, but they got a transfer ban at the minute. As far as this video is up now, they have a transfer ban. They can't do anything other than sell. And they'll be able to sell Eden Hazard for over 100 mil. Let that sink in. So all the money we've lost, knowing the old regime knew the club was self-sustaining, they knew about the revenue, and they're gonna spunk it. Absolutely terrible. But we have to get over that and trust in these guys and see what happens. Director of football, what's going on with that? You know, many links talking about Edu, but apparently he might not be able to do much by the time he comes And again, we're just going to be left in the dust. But again, this is news reports saying that. But of course, we'll wait and see what happens after the Copa America and see what's going forward. Do you know what I'm saying? If they are sticking to Edu. So let's move on from that. Let's talk about the team. Because I can't be asked to get into Kroenke. We all know Kroenke needs to spend money. If Josh is there, if Josh is taking control, he needs to take that shit off his dad and be here, because I've seen him more times than I've seen his father. It's a joke. It's a joke. So we need to know what exactly the owners are going to do going forward. And they need to spend some money or get out of the club. It's as simple as that. Do you know what I mean? Next, let's talk about the team, because again, it's been a ropey season. I mean, bit up and down, bit up and down. We lost our first two goals. Games, sorry. First two goals, oh my God. You know I'm tired. But yeah, so can we do better next season? Hopefully, if there's transfers. We know a lot of players need to get shifted out. I know I personally made a video earlier this season. If you want to check that out, check at the bottom of the video. But I want to go in a little more in depth for you, as I didn't really feel I covered much in that last previous video. But let's start right at the top. So we know Czech's going, so we'll leave it as that. I guess this is my keep and sell video. A lot of people have been doing it lately, but I ain't really got no graphics like that. Don't worry, guys. I will be sorting out the editing on this. I know it's been pretty basic lately, but I will be sorting it out very soon. Yeah. So we know Czech's gone. Let's go talk about Czech a little bit. I mean, started off the season, okay. Then he got injured. It was a bit ropey, in fact. I mean, I can't really say he was magnificent, because just again, he's aging, playing the ball at the back, which he's never really done. I mean, it weren't really going to be all great. But Czech is just Czech. And again, I'm not blaming him for that performance. A lot of people have come out and said maybe he could have got a hand to the Giroud header. Maybe, maybe not. Listen, it's over and done with now. He kept us in the game. I've been saying it all Europa League. The Rennes game, he kept us in it. Bartek Borisov away, we lost 1-0, but defensive issues. The defence has been the problem when I'm going to get into that after I talk about Leno. And to be honest, he didn't deserve that. Do you know what I mean? And a lot of people say, oh, Agent Czech, this, that, and the third. Oh, making memes of him walking into the Chelsea changing room. Like, look, I couldn't give a shit about that. He's an Arsenal player until June 30th. All right? And I know there's been various links about him going to Chelsea. And I was one of these people that said Leno should be starting. But even in my last preview video, I said to you guys, to be honest, I had to sit down and think about it. As much as I would like Leno to play, because he is the better goalkeeper. He is our first choice. And I'm sick and tired of the sentimental stuff. But to be honest with you, Petr Cech, I mean, he sat there in cup finals where Ospina's been running the show, and boy, Ospina, boy, we're gonna get to him in a second as well. So, all in all, he did what he could. Obviously, he's gone, innit? And for the season marking, I should mark these guys as well. Actually, I'll give him a 6, because again, we could have been out of the Europa League a lot sooner. He's not going to get higher because his distribution has been absolutely horrendous. But that's what happens with age. Let's be real, we only got Leno. If Leno got injured, he's all we had. Because Ospina was on loan, Martinez is on loan. What could we do? Do you know what I mean? But Czech gets a 6 for his performance this season. But Leno, let's start with you. Our number one keeper going forward into the future of Arsenal. Let's see. There's been moments. He's had some wicked moments. I mean, the double save. He's done that twice. I've seen him do it at Tottenham against them at Wembley, and I mean that was probably the most amazing thing I've seen from an Arsenal keeper since in a while, in a long while. Maybe the Seaman save against I think it was Southampton. If I'm wrong, someone remind me in the comments. It was a very long time ago. I'm sure it was Southampton now in the FA Cup. Saves like that. I mean, you don't do that a lot. You thought it was a one-off. He did the same thing against Crystal Palace where he fucking bottled it at home. And I think he's been great. I think he's been a good keeper. But he does have a mistake in him. Let's be real. You know, Southampton where we lost the 22 unbeaten run. Pragmatic. Coming out of the goal. We didn't need to come out of the goal. But again, the defence let him down. Injured Koscielny coming straight up. And obviously that didn't really work out too well. Do you know what I'm saying? So in the end, I just feel like he's done all right, man. I can't really slate him, but he's got to work on this mistake. He's got to work on his mistakes. His distribution could be a little bit more better, my personal opinion. But I think he's had a decent season. I'll give Leno a 7. I think he's been great. Do you know what I mean? It could have been higher, but you know, mistakes have cost us big time. And I'm not going to blame him for the Crystal Palace game because I'll get into a defender about that just when we can. So, David Ospina, before I even get to that, sorry guys, let me just have one little sip. Obviously, doesn't need grading. We haven't had him this season. So, you know, going forward, what we're going to do with Ospina, we're going to get rid. I'm hearing Napoli might want to give him back to Arsenal. They panicked. They kind of settled on. They're not really sure whether to buy him. They had the money there, and I'm hearing the prices have dropped and dropped and dropped. And he's had a different season at first. He was convincing he was going to sign, but Napoli apparently, it's what papers are speculating that they're not really too sure. So, of course, he doesn't get a mark. So, the defense. Oh, this is what a lot of people are going to be waiting for. Oh my gosh. So where do we start with the defense? Let's start with the longest serving defender that's been here. The last survivor of the 2010, 2011, 2009, 2010 season. Of course, I'm talking about the club captain, Mr. Achilles himself, Mr. Laurent Koscielny. This is... Oh man. I don't know what to say. I gotta say, I've been very critical of him. There's been times I've praised him and I've said, well, maybe he's not done. Maybe not. But I don't know. Maybe that was just glimpses of hope. That a little aside me, I don't think Koscielny's amazing. I've got to be honest with you guys. I thought last season I said I was done with him. Absolutely done with him. He was annoying. He was atrocious. And then I was more pissed off with Arsene Wenger for putting him in the Europa League final last season. But this season he had a point to prove. I saw his little road to recovery video on Arsenal YouTube channel, which I thought was very touching at first. They edited that really, really well. And we got to see the struggle that Koscielny had within himself to believe that, you know, he can get back into shape and fit for the next season. Of course, he missed the World Cup because of that injury. But going on this season, I mean, he was rushed back because I'm sure Socrates... I can't remember. No, Rob Holding, sorry. Because it was straight after the Manchester United game, who I think was our best defender, but I'll get onto him, was injured. Do you know what I'm saying? So he was rushed back for the next game against Southampton, where we absolutely blew it. Our 22 unbeaten run was shattered. I could blame him for the firm. I think the second goal, I definitely blame him for that. Sorry, I don't know what he was doing. It's like his defensive awareness has gone, as well as his legs. And to be honest, there's been times this season, you know, they've taken him off. They don't want to over-risk him. Koscielny can't play a consistent game anymore. That just tells you everything. Yeah, he got a goal against Chelsea. He got the first goal. Well, we beat them 2-0 at the Emirates in the season. In the Premier League. And he scored against City. Even though we lost that, but he did. He did okay in that game. I don't really blame him too much. But this is what I'm saying. It got good until it got crap, until it turned into the old Laurent Koscielny we knew. So, of course, I'm open him to letting go. There's various links linking him away to buy Leverkusen. and another French team. I kind of forgot. I do apologize, guys. But apparently that is the news. Of course, Arsenal apparently haven't come to him about a contract extension. So it seems to me that they're looking to let him go. So for the season, Koscielny, I mean, it started off bad. Then it started to get a little good and started to get a little bit consistent. Then it just fell apart. So for Koscielny's efforts, I'm going to give him a 4. That's how high he can get. And I'm being generous. Because again, he shouldn't be at the club no more. The game's too intense for him. He's aging, he's broken down, and I'm not insulting the man, but I'm just telling how it is. He can't do it no more. He can't do it no more. So he gets a 4. Sokratis, our newest centre back. Well. I mean, I'm kind of slowly starting to sit on the fence with him. A lot of people, including myself, were excited about Sokratis because he's that dirty centre-back that we all needed. You know, the ones that put in the tackles that need to be put in. Strong, iron, built like he was from Rome or Greece. No pun intended about the Greece. But, again, too rash. He loses his head kind of quick after the tackles. Goes down a lot too much. It's annoying. And just needs to stay on his feet. I'm unsure about him, guys. I'm going to be real. I do like him, but I'm really unsure about him. But, again, we'll have to see about him. So, has he been better out of him and Koscielny? Slightly better. I'll be real. He looked good with holding, but again, the defense has been horrendous. 51 goals that Leno and Cech had to concede, all because of you guys. And again, Koscielny only gets a 4 because he's supposed to be the club captain. So what do you think Sokratis is going to get? He's more than likely going to get the same grade, and that's a 4. Rob Holding, for the time he was there, is this fair, me grading him? Because he didn't really finish the season. He only got up to Old Trafford and then that was it. He got injured with a tackle. He got tackled by Rashford. Do you know what I mean? It was a 50-50 situation, I get that. But his leg just buckled and it was just... That did not look nice. But for his efforts, being the ball-carrying centre-back, who I think has got a trust with Leno, I mean, I'll give him a 7, man. He was our best defender there. Hopefully, we can see him in the starting 11 next season alongside a new centre-back, but we'll wait and see what happens with that. Monreal, I mean, he's really declined. And I've said it a couple videos ago, guys. I really think we really need to let Nacho go. Don't get me wrong, I think he was brilliant last season, even though he kept getting injured. But for the times he was playing, I mean, Monreal was good. He's been one of our best defenders, in the last couple years. But this year has to be it, man. This is one of the ones where you have to take your dog at the back of the shed with your shotgun and put him down. And I like Monreal, but he's got to go, man. But for his efforts this season, he gets the same as Koscielny. Or maybe less. You know what? No, I'm going to give him a 4. I'll give him a 4. Yeah, I think that's reasonable. I mean, he's been shocking, but he hasn't been as shocking as the other 2 or the other 3, and there's more people we're going to get into. So I'm going to give him I think I'm going to give him a 3. 3 is fine. Mustafi. A lot of people have been waiting for this. I'm not going to say 0, even though I do want him to leave. I just think he's not good enough for Arsenal. We know this. We've been knowing this. There was reports saying an article I read a few weeks ago stating that Arsene Wenger wasn't actually behind the Mustafi transfer. He was forced to get him by an old cheek executive officer who's out there hiding in Milan. Yes, I'm talking about Baldy Gazidis. So, oh man, the Palace game, boy. The Everton game, we tried and then, God, I don't know. We tried. He wasn't good enough, but the rest of the team weren't great. He was decent that day, but it just wasn't great. There's been too many times Mustafi hasn't been great. Too many times. And then near the end of the season, he just started to pick up form, which made no sense. I felt like he had to put this in because he knew he was going to be shifted out this season. So, and I probably would have played him in the Europa League final because he was the actually only defender that's been on form. All of them have been absolutely trash. But we're going to get into that in a sec. Mustafi can get a free as well. Simple as that. I know he was playing well in the last couple games in the end, but it was too little too late, my friend. Too little too late. Ainsley, wow. Not a natural right back, but he did alright. I mean, he's had spells where he's looked good. I mean, if you look at the Liverpool game where we got absolutely disbanded at Anfield, he was the one to get the goal. Do you know what I mean? He was trying, and then after that, we all capitulated like wallies. Valencia game recently, well, he was the reason why they did score, and it did get turned out. And in the second half, he just showed up. And then the final, it wasn't a good game for him. I know a lot of people have, stuck their necks on the line with him. And don't get me wrong, I do like him, man. I don't want him to leave. I don't want him out. But personally, I don't want him in right back next season. I can't have that. You need to go and get a legitimate right back that can play right back. Maybe he could play centre back too, the right back that we possibly look to acquire for. But Ainsley Maitland-Niles does not deserve to be in that defence whatsoever. For me, that is the last time I want to see Ainsley playing right back. He can't defend properly. He can attack. He's a midfielder. Play him in midfield. But for his efforts, I mean, he's done okay. I'm going to give him a 4, maybe a 5. But even a 5 might be just pushing it because, again, the final the other day, he mucked up hard. He did. He started so well and then he started to muck up. I don't know. But yeah, I think 4 is reasonable. Bellerin, for the time he played, I think he did okay. He really started to look a lot better than the previous Bellerins we've seen in the last 2-3 seasons. We've seen him attacking more. He's running a lot more. And unfortunately, we lost him in the Cardiff game at home when he pulled up. He's had 2 injuries this season. He's had 2 surgeries. I hope a speedy recovery for him because we're going to need him. But unfortunately, we most likely not going to have him starting at the start of the season unless rehab and training goes all good for him. Hopefully, we'll look to see Bellerin. So for Bellerin's efforts, I'll give him a 6. That's fair enough. Kolasinac, boy, oh boy. I was really, really disappointed in this guy because when we first got him, I thought, yeah, all right, who's going to try it now? Because that left side has been getting exposed. Reasons why I've said Monreal has been declining the last couple of years. Even though the previous, like I said, the previous 2 seasons, he's been doing well, but he was slowly declining. And he's declined. Kolasinac, I think it's time we let him go. I'll be real. I think we need a new left back, a defensive left back. Wing back, it sounds cool. Don't get it twisted. But the man can't cross. He can't cross. He doesn't think. He's not quick enough, like thinking wise. I mean, You could have got us a goal in the Europa League final, mate. You stopped, you saw it, you panicked. Aspilicueta got there and shut you down. What were you doing? Xhaka picked you out how many times and you still couldn't do it. But again, it's been going on this season, man. I'm not going to act like that one game. I'm only purely going off that one game because that was the last game of recent time. But even before that, I mean, it's just not good enough. This was a guy that was highly rated in the Bundesliga at the time Arsene Wenger and Arsenal picked him up. The wages, wow. Sorry, not worth their wages. I'm sorry. So, for Kolasinac, he can get a 3. Sorry, I will keep it real. He don't deserve a 5. I would have said 5, but his form just absolutely dropped. And he just suddenly just can't cross no more. Which is hilarious because we used to moan at Bellerin about that. But it is what it is. So Kolasinac, I want you gone too. Sorry, I had enough of you. Bye-bye. So, and I'll send you a postcard to the Bundesliga and tell Schalke, please come and take him. We don't need him no more. He's done what he needs to do. I like his physical attributes. But again, he's just got no defensive attributes. It's not good. It's not good. He needs to go. So he gets a 3. Now we're gonna go. I think that's all the. Is that all the defenders there? Koscielny, Monreal, Socrates, Rob Holding, Nacho Monreal, Kolasinac, Ainsley. Yeah, that's pretty much all. Yeah, that's pretty much all of them. So that's the defense done. Let's drop into the midfield, and we are going to start with the man who I've been very questionable about since he's arrived North London in the last couple of years. And he's one of our club captains, and I'm talking about Granit Xhaka. Now, of course, you know my thoughts on Xhaka. I don't think he's good enough for Arsenal Football Club. I just think he has too many games where he's inconsistent. There's games where he does turn up. I know I gave him a 1 the other day, purely because he got run out of the midfield after having a decent half. But the midfield was just open as fuck. That's why I gave him a 1. And I know I purely discredited all the balls he was putting in for Kolasinac in the first half, but it didn't really lead anything to him. But going back on Xhaka, I just think he's not good enough. Yes, he's improved slightly. This will probably be Xhaka's best fucking season this season, and it ain't really been all that good. And you cost us the top 4. I'm sorry, he did. He did cost us the top 4. I'm not using him as a scapegoat. I'm not into that shit. But I will call out players that need to be called out. He cost us the top 4 and he knows that. And I think that's why he had to come out and give us a message in that Europa League final. And I respect the fuck out of him for that. Because what I don't get is a lot of fans, at least 3,000 fans have travelled, spent over £2,000 in travel accommodation to come and watch Arsenal get bamboozled in the final by themselves. Chelsea just did what they did. And he's the only one that come out, apologised for the performance and spoke. For that, I'll give you a little mark for that. But performance, sorry mate, I just don't think this league is good for you. I personally think maybe Serie A. I would have said the Bundesliga, but that's started to get a little more quick. Maybe he should go back to Gladbach. You did say in the future you'd like to retire at Basel, but he's nowhere near the retirement age. But I don't think he should be at Arsenal going forward. And he did mention in an article, this was an article I read a few months ago, that obviously he doesn't believe Arsenal is the long term for him. He sees himself going up a level, which actually pissed me off at that time. But I said at the time, you know what? I'm not really Xhaka's biggest fan. I'm in the opposite fan base of Xhaka. The Xhaka out. But I'm not gonna cuss him. I've had enough of that. Been cussing him for too long. But I don't feel going forward he's the right guy for us. So for his efforts this season, I'm gonna give him a 5. And that's purely because there's games he's tried and do well, but he's been lackluster at times, been a liability at times, and he let us down a couple of times. But like I said, I give him a mark just based on that comment. So I was going to actually give him a 3 originally, but maybe I should switch it to a 4. I think 4 for Xhaka. Nah, I think that's a bit too low actually. He's done better than that. Even though I don't rate him. Let's give him a 5. I think 5's fair and solid for Xhaka, but we got to let him go, guys. So Xhaka fans, if you're watching this, you can turn it off if you want. I don't really care. Because personally, you know as well as I do, we need better than Xhaka. So let's get into our next midfielder, Lucas Torreira. Buy of the season for me, for Arsenal Football Club, as well as Leno. But he has slipped dramatically. After Watford, I don't know what happened to him. He's disappeared under the sun. He hasn't really turned up for us. And, you know, he's supposed to be our Kante. But it's his first season. He's still learning the league. He showed us more fight in that midfield than I've seen in the last couple of years. So for that, I'm going to give him a 5 as well. No, fuck that. I'm going to give you a 6. Because of the Tottenham game, that really showed me what type of character this guy is. So determined. And he will get forward and try it as well. Which I don't really see Xhaka doing that much often. Maybe because he's not as mobile as Torreira. But for Torreira's efforts, I'm going to give him a 6. El Nani, he's got to go, as we all know. He's not good enough. He's rarely played this season, so it's going to be hard to grade him. But, I mean, the Burnley game, he looked good. But that's only one game, and I think it's like, raw. El Nani is actually fucked up. But I've never really believed in this guy. Do you know what I mean? I'd rather kept Coquelin than him, personally, but who knows? But El Nani, we all know he's got to go. So, boy, I'll just give him a 4. Give him a 4. Well, I'm not saying he doesn't deserve a 5 because the performance he's been in. He had one good game, probably maybe 2, but even in that game, he didn't even play for that long. And I'm talking about the Chelsea game. He only come off for a couple of minutes just to shore things up, as some people say. But yeah, I'll give him a 4. Guendouzi, who I think is actually a good player, but a lot of people think he's an idiot. Don't be so harsh on him, because you know what? Sometimes I think to myself, I think he's utilised in the wrong way. You know, I don't really think he's that much of a holding mid, because I really keep going back to this game, and this is for me was when I saw what Guendouzi can actually do going forward. Guendouzi versus when it was Arsenal versus Manchester United in the FA Cup. He come on, Ozil come on. They wouldn't stop going forward. When Man United decided to sit back, he wouldn't stop going forward. He was trying everything he could to pass the balls around. He's been good. He's been talented. And we've seen that in glimpses this season. Obviously, he's 19 years old. I felt we played him way too much this season. Of course, we ain't really got no backups. If Torreira's injured and Xhaka's on the pitch, who we got? El Nani? No chance. I don't even want to touch that. Do you know what I mean? Go back to the Everton performance. Absolutely shit. That was abysmal from him and El Nani. And then we did it again in the Watford game. Not good enough. I think Torreira was playing, in fact. El Nani was on the bench. I think it was Torreira and Guendouzi because Xhaka was injured. If I'm wrong, I'm thinking of another game. Let me know, guys, in the comment section. But for his first season, I think he's done good. I think he's done really well. This is not. I don't think this is a bad buy. I mean, his transfer profit's gone up crazy, but going forward, I'm happy with him. So for me, I'll give Guendouzi a 6, man, for all his efforts this season. Obviously, it hasn't been amazing, but there's still time. I think he's done. I think he's done well. So I'm gonna give him a 6. I think that's good enough. Right, now we get into the interesting part of the midfielders. So obviously Reece Nelson's on loan. Emerald Smith Rowe, we only had him for a little bit. I'll give him a 5. I think he done well in the Europa League, but I don't know why Emery. But obviously, he got injured, of course, and then he got shifted out on loan to Leipzig. Didn't really play that much, because of his injuries. I've been reading, but yeah, for what he did for Arsenal, give him a 5, no problem. Who else? Reece Nelson obviously was on loan, so I can't grade him. Who else is there? The midfield. I don't want to get to those two quite yet. I feel like I'm missing somebody. Alex Iwobi. Let's get to Alex Iwobi. This one's going to be very interesting. I've made my comments on Iwobi. I'm so indecisive on whether to keep him or let him go. I even put him out on loan. But after the Europa League performance, after that wicked goal, and again, like I said, I got to give credit to him because I didn't really talk about it in my review. Apologies, Alex Iwobi. Deserve more respect than that. Wicked goal. Wicked goal. Obviously, the game was done by them, but wicked goal, man. But we need to see more of that. And, man, I mean, there's games where he's come off the bench. Watford, earlier in the season. When we beat them, it was so stalemate, 0-0. He come off the bench, and within about 2 minutes, we're winning. He's that type of player to come off the bench, bring some width in, bring some creativeness. He likes to take on players we haven't really got much of at Arsenal. Do you know what I mean? I could probably name about 3 players I could probably like to take on people, and that's our attacking guys. And do you know what I mean? So for Iwobi, again, he's had some chances. He could have taken it. But you know what? I'll take back what I said about him in my previous videos. I think maybe I was a bit too harsh. I was living in the moment. But going forward, I think he needs to be going forward with us. I'll give him another season, man. I'm gonna back him, man. I can't be too critical on Iwobi because again, there's been times he's just been thrown in, and he hasn't really been managed well. We used to moan at Walcott. He wasn't really coached. Do you know what I'm saying? And then maybe if he was coached, he could have turned out better. So this is the problem for Alex Iwobi. Like, he needs to be coached, and we got Unai Emery in, and let's be real, since he's come in, Iwobi has improved. Maybe not by the miles of margins, but he has improved. So hopefully next season, under the new manager, he can actually get some more starts. He's showing the manager why he should be over a certain man I'm going to get into in a sec. So for Alex Iwobi, I'm going to give him a 6. It could have been higher because of, the chances he's had. He's missed some opportunities. But he takes on people now. This is what we've been complaining about Iwobi. He's not confident enough. He needs to go forward. Stop thinking about the fans. When he lashed that goal in the other day, I know he was thinking about the fans because he's a fan too. But he needs to start keeping that as momentum. Use that Chelsea defeat as momentum because you scored a banger. Use that as momentum to tell Emery why you need to be in the first team next season. So for Iwobi, he gets a 6. Mesut Ozil. This is going to be fun. The missing man, the missing German, the gerbil as I like to call. honestly, it has been a bad season for us. This is probably his worst season. I mean, the international, German team, he's not playing. He's retired from Germany, of course. The controversy with that. Not going to get into that. Of course, he's been, um, you know, just not good enough, man. Not good enough at all. We started using him instead of Ramsey because obviously the Ramsey situation going on at the time, and we'll get to Ramsey. But what's he done? He's only had one good game. One good game. One. Oh man, I've said this for years. I really feel now is the time to let him go. I know it's going to be a very hard decision, but Unai Emery and Arsenal need to do everything they can to let Ozil go. The money he's on is shocking. For him to have less assists than a man we've been butchering who plays for Manchester United now, you know who I'm talking about. And the joke is, when you think of it, we've probably been better off keeping him than fucking Ozil. Because at least Sanchez was more consistent than Ozil when he was at Arsenal. But it is what it is, man. I've left my coat out to dry with Sanchez already, innit? But it is what it is. Ozil, it's got to go. I'm sorry. And that performance in a cup final where you knew Mkhitaryan couldn't play because of the politics. You know Ramsey couldn't play because he's injured. And you know what? It doesn't even matter if all those things are there because I still don't think Ozil would have showed up. So, boy, Ozil, man, we gotta go. We've got to go. It starts with you, not Mustafi. It starts with Ozil. Ozil 2. Simple as that. And he only gets 2 because of the Leicester performance. I thought that was a wicked goal, which was actually voted goal of the season for Arsenal. And I think you only get extra grade for just wearing the top. That's it. 2. You're lucky to even get 2. Maybe I should just give you 1. Yeah, actually, let's give you 1. Let's give you 1. Again, like I said, I'm not scapegoating him. I'm being real. I'm sick and tired of people giving guys like this guy a 5. For what? Running around the pitch, dictating what game? KDB dictates the game on the bench. How has KDB been injured most of this season, come off the bench in the FA Cup final and help City get 4 more goals? Remember, Manchester City were 2-0 up in the first half. KDB comes on for Mahrez within what? In the space of 9 minutes of the second half. Pep wasn't happy with Mahrez, yanked him off, shoved KDB on, who hasn't really been playing this season, who's been in and out of the team with injuries in Man City, and they get fucking 6 goals, and he's part of that shit, and he took the piss with his goal. And then we got Mesut Ozil. I'll let you think about that, guys. 1. Mkhitaryan. This one is probably going to be easier. He's been better than Ozil, but not by a mile. He's only been slightly better than Ozil. His head's just been... I don't know where it's been, bro. I actually don't know. It's not good. You know what? After he got injured, the Bournemouth game, he did a lot more better. But after that, he just fell apart, man. Mickey, I think we got to call it with you as well. I mean, the wages that you're on, of course, I know it was a straight swap with Alexis Sanchez. But regardless, going forward, I don't think Mkhitaryan is the guy we should be keeping. So for his efforts, I'll probably give Mickey a 2. Like I said, he was better than Ozil, but not that much better than Ozil. Alright, this is the hard one. Aaron Ramsey. I'm not going to sit here and say I didn't want him to... I wasn't sure on him leaving, because when Wilshere left, I thought, oh, Ramsey, should we keep him? Should we not? I've always felt we've played him wrong. There's been games in the past we played him holding mid, and I'm thinking, why are we doing this? He's gonna leave my man for dead, and he's gonna go out there and get a goal because he's that type of player. Aaron Ramsey is probably the downgraded version of Frank Lampard, and I'm gonna say that statement. Why? Because if you look at Lampard, the way he used to move for Chelsea, he'd always be there, banging in goal from the midfield, trying. Ramsey, when he's played as a midfield pivot in the hole, he's doing that. He's trying to create goals. The Europa League, I thought he's done great this season in the Europa League. Unfortunately, he's got a goal on 3. Because the old regime thought, oh, I know, I won't even bother about Ramsey. We'll sign up Ozil because the fans are fucking panicking about him or Sanchez staying. Absolute fucked up situation. Ramsey's gone to Turin. He's now a Juventus player once his contract is officially expired. And I've got nothing else to say but thank you. And I know a lot of people have been on the fence on legendary status. No, not quite a legend, but he has been a tremendous servant for the club, getting us helping us 3 FA Cups, scoring in 2 of those finals, especially the whole one for me. I think that was probably the last time I shedded a tear, because I ain't seen Arsenal win a trophy since I was a kid. Do you know what I'm saying? And at that time, that was important for me, man. Do you know what I'm saying? But man, even a little part of me's getting upset right now. It's crazy. But I mean, for his efforts this season, I think he's been one of our best players, man. I've got to give him a 7 or 8. 7, 8. Because there's times he hasn't turned up. But that Tottenham game, mate, that is what I call pure emotion, man. Even then, I shed a little tear. Even thinking about it, I'm getting upset. But going forward, Rambo, good luck, man. Good luck in Turin. And at least he's going to be playing some Champions League football next season. And I'm not going to be bitter about it. So, go into the forward roles. Nketiah. I'll start with Nketiah. Hasn't really done much. I felt sorry for him. I feel like he hasn't really played that much in games he's played. He hasn't really, take it to him. Because by the time he's come on, the game is pretty much closed. If you want to say that. I'm not even getting at Eddie. I like Eddie. I know what he can do. And I want to see more of Nketiah. Should he go out on loan next season? Probably not. I probably want to start him going forward. And not start him, sorry. I mean, have him on the bench. Do you know what I mean? If Abba Alaka are not doing well, then Nketiah is there. Do you know what I'm saying? Why not? Use the youth. So for Nketiah, and it was good to see him get a goal in the last day of the season. I was happy with that. And the way he took it, man. Very, very confident. I like this guy. But we know what Eddie can do. So for Eddie's performances, he can get a 5. Just obviously lack of appearances. But that needs to change next season. I forgot. Joe Willock. How could I forget about you, bruv? So sorry. I think Joe's done okay for the cameo appearances he's come in. Of course, the Newcastle game. In the FA Cup, I think he took that game by the scruff of the fucking neck. Even though it was against Blackpool, I still think he took that game by the scruff of the neck. And Europa League, he done more than Ozil's done all season in a space of a couple minutes. Just saying. And I'm not hating on Ozil, I'm just calling it how it is. If it comes off as hate as Ozil, then you guys just clearly have the wrong impression of me. So for Joe Willock, he gets a 5 as well. I want to see him more next season. I want to see more young players next season. Back to the strikers. Alexander Lacazette. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. My favourite out of the two, no respect to Aubameyang, I do like Aubameyang, but Lacazette for me, always been my number one guy. I've always liked Lacazette from back in the day. I've always thought he was a player we should be looking at because I know Arsenal DNA. I mean, the French, the impactfulness, the work, the heart, the workhorse, the heart. I think Alexander Lacazette is all what I just said. But there's been times where he's just loses his head. And I've said this in previous videos. Once he starts missing opportunities or not getting the ball, he just goes missing, and it's not good enough from Lacazette. But 19 goals this season, probably his best season at Arsenal because last season was horrible. Of course, how can we forget about the North London derby where he hit the post? But he definitely made up for that. That wicked free kicks he's been scoring. Important one like Napoli in the Europa League, even to get us to the semi-finals when our away form has been horrific. He did that. He got us in the semi-finals. And he got us to the final as well as Aubameyang. So for his efforts, I've got to give Lacazette an 8, man. There's nothing more that needs to be said. Again, he just needs to stay consistent, not lose his head, and hopefully he will be at the club after the summer's over. Because again, third consecutive year of Europa League, and we need to hang on to him, man. We need to hang on to him, especially the next guy, Aubameyang, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, Golden Boot winner. First Golden Boot in God knows how long at Arsenal. He has to share that with Mo Salah and Sadio Mane. What a season that is. You're sharing it with two guys who are in the Champions League final as well, who was a point behind City in even capturing that league title. But there's been times where he just hasn't turned up. The final, I don't know what he was doing. Again, guys, check out my review. I'm not going to keep talking about the final as reference. But the final, we could have beat Tottenham. The penalty, yeah, it still kind of gets to me because I fucking live with I've got a Tottenham fan up the road, so it's annoying. But yeah, so I mean, I think he's done tremendous this season, but again, he just needs to be more clinical. A lot of people have been throwing the world class word around. I don't know, because if he was world class, he probably would have got more than 30 goals this season. So again, even though him and Lacazette got a combined 40 goals this season, still, I think Aubameyang needs to get his shooting boots on more next season. Hopefully he stays. And I hope we can do well. So for Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, well, this is hard. I'm going to have to give him an 8 as well. I would have given him higher, but again, there's been chances and there's been games he hasn't turned up. It'd be totally unfair if everyone else, giving him a 9 or a 10 because he got the golden boot. No. There's more to that. There's been games he's gone missing. There's games he hasn't tried hard enough, and he knows that himself. So hopefully next season he knows he needs to kick up the arse. Alexander Lacazette, Alexander the Great, I'm going to start calling him now, needs to kick up the arse too. Those two, don't get me wrong, they've had a great season. They've been our driving force to even get us to the Europa League final and even close a point behind in the top 4. So, I love those guys. They need a little kick up the arse next season. The whole team needs to get refurbished, and I want to see young players in there next season. So, Unai Emery, I'm going to get into you. And for this season, you failed your targets. You were supposed to get the Champions League via either the Europa League. You failed. We got slapped up by Chelsea in the final. And, of course, we bottled it when it mattered against Brighton, Wolves, Crystal Palace, Everton, I'm more upset with you with that one, if anything. And yeah, and you know why I'm upset with him because of Everton? Because that game told me everything. That game told me they're going for the Europa League. Torreira could have played. Do you know what I'm saying? With Guendouzi, I didn't feel we needed El Neni. Just if they're fitting off the bench, just start them. I'm not trying to hear this. They wasn't fit enough. Just play it for 45 minutes, 65 minutes. If they're tired, yank them off. Bring on someone else. As simple as that. But the depth of the squad needs to be sorted out. Emery has to get a 5. I feel it's been an average season. He hasn't achieved his targets. That's partially on him, but majority is on the team because they let him down as well as us. And again, this is a transitional period. A lot of people are forgetting that. How the fuck are we supposed to be challenging for the league in a transitional period? Chelsea's had a good season because it's been slip-ups, but they haven't really had a good season because they slipped up. Man United slipped up. We've slipped up. Tottenham slipped up. But guess what? Tottenham and Chelsea are playing Champions League football next season, while Arsenal, Manchester United and Wolverhampton are in the Europa League next season. So, I mean, if the club need to do something, they need to be starting putting some money in this team. Emery's has now finished the season. He has to go forward and be ruthless and tell the players who's staying, who's going, who's in his plans, who's not. And Stan Kroenke, Josh Kroenke, whatever your name is, if it's got something to do with Kroenke, back the manager. Because listen, we're all backing the manager. A lot of us want him out. I don't know why. I think a lot of people have been living off the past. Personally, stop living in the Invincible era. It's done. It's over. All the great eras that we've had. It's a new chapter, people. We have to let the past go. I know Tottenham are doing better than us. It hurts as hell to see them in the Champions League final. But guess what? If the club don't do anything about it, you need to get at them instead of taking your anger out on Unai Emery. Yes, he's learning the league. Yes, he's learning these players. Yes, he's put his faith and trust in certain players and not much trusted the players of luxury. But again, with what he was left with and the money he was given, did you really want us to challenge against Man City and Liverpool for the fucking league title? You guys have got to be kidding me. This is what pisses me off about this fan base. Guys, stop living in the past. We have to back the manager. We have to get at the club. Unai Emery is in front of the club. And there's people been calling him a puppet. But guess what? If he's so much of a puppet, why in the 22 years of Arsene Wenger have I never heard Arsene Wenger say, we ain't got enough? Unai Emery come out in the transfer window in January and said, we don't have enough. All we could do is loans. The wage bill is too fucking high because of the old regime put these average players who need to be moved on, or even why were they even bought in the first place, into the club. So as far as I'm concerned, you need to back the manager. I'm giving Unai Emery probably another window. Obviously, this window is the first one for me. I think the last one, I can't really criticise him on that. That's the club's fault. Why did they allow, well, the old regime let fucking Ozil 350, but they should have spoke to him. Ramsey's gone. It's all tops and toodles for me. New word, check that out. Tops and toodles. But yeah, guys, listen, that was my video on pretty much everything on my thoughts of the season and my player ratings for the season, seasonal ratings, and my comments. So guys, thank you for checking out this video. I really hope you subscribe to the channel. I've been seeing a lot of views on that, and respect to the guys on Twitter, guys like Jazz, guys like the Gooner Gazette on Instagram. Thanks for the support. YT Gaming Comics, bro. If I battered your name, I apologize. We do need to play on PS4. And again, thanks for the support. for checking out his videos. There will be more videos coming up very soon on Arsenal. Any transfer news, I will report it if I can, provided if it's concrete, because I don't want to get into rumours. We've got a lot of guys out there doing that, and I want to let them do their thing. So I'm only going to talk about if it's concrete, and then I'm going to get into them and talk about them personally. So again, like I said, like, share, follow, and subscribe to Instagram, to Twitter, and of course the YouTube channel. So Gooners, keep your heads up, stay composed, and put your head in the sand if Tottenham win the Champions League. Come on, Liverpool. Please. Take care, guys.